Okay, we're live now, so everything should be here that we need. Gaff, will you check the YouTube there? Our mics are unmuted, so Gaff,
Yeah,
yeah, just check the YouTube there and see if we're going. I will
we're
get
live.
URC starting. There's a go.
Yeah, you can hear our mics on us as well, so we're good, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Right, you take it away.
Okay, we're good. Right, hello everyone. Welcome back. So sorry for um, the delay that we had there. Um, you're all very welcome back to the URC. We took our time indeed. We had some technical difficulties with my microphone and Discord, so we have to have used a Teams call. Um, but yeah, we are back and we are joined tonight by a league partner, Gaffo. Gaffo, introduce yourself.
Yeah, how's it going, lads? Really looking forward to this. Of course, being a driver now, back in URC, I'm really looking forward to see who I'm paired up with and how this is gonna get on tonight. See how the season gets on.
And obviously, we would try and get in some backstory and everything and hype up the league a bit, but we are definitely well behind schedule. So,
Yeah, I think we're better
um,
off just getting straight into the thing. Yeah,
just
starting with the teams for the team principals, I suppose.
I should probably go to the showroom for this. I'd say it'd probably be better. Right. So the team principals then. So that's going to be decided by the spin the wheel. So
Yeah,
what we're going to do?
the 10-person wheel. So just the one that does include Anthony.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say it now before we start. The driver one that one of our team principals has not submitted his drivers, therefore he will not get any sort of choice. So we'll be pretty much only 18 drivers will have a confirmed seat by the end of tonight. Four drivers who are left without a seat are up to it's up to the U's now to try and advertise to Anthony and that U's want to get that final seat for whatever team Anthony gets. But
yeah.
without further ado, we can get underway with the wheel for the teams.
So let's look at the first team, Gaff. Where should we start? Should we start with Ferrari? Should we start with
Well,
McLaren?
we can't really start with any team. I think we just start by spinning the wheel, and whatever the wheel lands on, that driver, every single team principal has put in their top 10 of teams that they want. If you get first in the wheel, then
Yeah,
you get your first pick. If the person who is second in the wheel, they could also get their first pick, but if their first pick is already picked by the first person, they get their second pick, and it goes so on until everyone has their team. So I suppose
all right.
the main
Without
thing to do is
further
just
ado,
spin that
ladies and
wheel.
gentlemen, let's find out who is getting the first pick. Let's spin that wheel.
Where do we land?
Tim.
Tim. So Tim will be the Mercedes driver for this year. That was his first pick, or Mercedes driver, Mercedes team principal, I should say. So
Lovely
Tim
stuff. Let's
will
have a look
be
at Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Uh, 2 seconds there. Yeah.
You have
I think my Formula
history on
One game
Mercedes in the
has
league or something, or
closed,
is,
but
well, it's
what's
just something wrong with that.
yeah, something's definitely wrong with that. Oh wait, no, it was I had to go across in the arrows. So yeah, Mercedes obviously being the joint most successful team with Ferrari in URC, so that rivalry will reignite. Hopefully, Tim's drivers will be able to step up to the cause and be able to deliver a very interesting season. So
I think
that is
we've got the points
Mercedes,
there. Well, on to the next one.
and we'll remove Tim from the wheel. So who is next? We will do spin the wheel again, and let's spin it. Oh, it's in the middle of it. Right, Anthony is second.
Anthony, who unfortunately didn't give us any notice for his drivers. At least he will get his first choice of team. His first choice was Alpine, and he will get Alpine. So Anthony, the Alpine team principal for season 11.
Lovely stuff. And Alpine have been hit and miss, I think, in URC's history, but obviously we take a look at their car. This is what they're running with for the season. Very nice car, but a matter of, I think they might be in midfield depending on the lineup he gets. It's a bold call,
Yeah,
but
well, he's gonna very struggle because he doesn't have pick of any driver.
yeah,
So
that's just
he
it.
will struggle. He'll have to hope that he does get very lucky with the drivers that are left in terms of their performance for the team. We'll have to wait and see, or hope
Mm,
that maybe we get a driver to join mid-season that
indeed.
lifts the performance for them. But he's already at a disadvantage. The fact that he hasn't chosen
Yeah.
his teams, his drivers. Right, on to the next.
Yep, the third pick. So Anthony and Tim have had their teams. Tim with Mercedes, Anthony with Alpine. Let's go again. It's going to be Charlie.
Charlie. So Charlie will be getting his second pick. He wanted Alpine as his first pick. That has been chosen. So he will be now Kick Sauber. Is going to
Ooh,
be who Charlie is, which is
interesting.
actually going to be quite frustrating because there's actually two other drivers who have Kick Sauber as their first choice.
Mm,
But
I can already know who's
be it
won.
that his first choice, yeah, Leo Jack NUFC is the same. Um, but of course that's quite frustrating for them. Charlie unable to get his first choice, so instead he spoils someone else's first choice. But he will be the Kick Sauber team principal for this season.
Lovely stuff. Let's remove Charlie from the wheel. And for the fourth time, let's spin that wheel. Oh, this is one of your boys, Gaff.
Right, I've many of them, so let's see who it is.
ST, so.
ST is going to be quite happy with this. His first choice was Mercedes, which I was quite surprised by, probably the fact that he is a German driver, that he'd like the German team. But he is going to be the team that he had his championship battle with in Formula Aero. He is going to be the Racing Bulls team
Ooh,
principal. So that is who ST will be managing the team that I could probably say that he owned in my own league. So he's going to be owning them again this season. So ST Racing Bulls team principal.
very interesting indeed. Let's go back to the wheel, removing ST, and let's spin this wheel once again for our fifth team principal in this season. Oh, I think it's going to be Jack here, is it? I think it is.
Jack NUFC.
It is, yeah.
So Jack NUFC, he had his first choice picked in Kick Sauber. He is going to now be his second choice. So everyone quite happy either their first or second choice. It's going to be McLaren for Jack
Ooh,
NUFC. So that is who he will be in charge of for this season.
that is very interesting. Very interesting. Right. Let's get back to the wheel. We'll remove him from there. And we've only got 5 TPs left to go.
Yep. And three of them still have their first choice on the table. So could be very good for a lot of them. But for some, I'm looking at the likes of Ben and Leo. They might get quite unlucky here and be stuck with maybe one of the teams lower down their list. see how it plans out. I think from what I'm looking at, nobody wants Haas out of the remaining drivers. So
Yeah.
we'll see who gets stuck with that. I think that's going to be the last choice more than likely. So
So it's
let's spin the wheel and
Leopold
go again.
who gets this
Leo's
one.
next.
Yeah.
Leo's happy enough with that. Then he gets his second pick. He's going to be the Red Bull team principal for this year.
Oh, very good. I actually kind of like that. I think Leo
Yeah,
would do good stuff with Red Bull.
yeah. I think he has. From what I was looking at from his selection of driver lineups, he's going to have a very, very strong team if he gets quite lucky and fortunate with the wheel. We'll
Mm.
have to see later on. But other than that, it'll be Red Bull for Leo, and we're on to the next driver, or the next team principal, I should say.
Yep, we will do just that. Let's get the wheel back, and now we're down to four. And as you said, Gaffo, how many of these team principals still have their first choice left?
We have two. So Ricky just had his first choice removed there in Red Bull. Quiet
Mm.
Boy, Jake still both have their first choice on the board. Ben looking at hoping for his third choice. But as I said, I think it's Haas and Aston Martin who are the two that are unlucky for these last few drivers. So we'll see what the story is. Who gets picked next?
Let's spin that wheel. It's Jake.
Yeah, and Jake will be very happy with that because he is now going to be the Ferrari. That's his first choice. The Ferrari team principal is going to be Jake. He'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, that's he's going to be hopefully very happy with that decision that he's gotten Ferrari. Obviously, him being the team principal, he's leading the team with the most drivers' championships, the most constructors' championships. Ferrari have a big history in URC, so he'll be expecting his drivers to perform at a top level, definitely at the front of the field is what he'll be expecting, and nothing less, I'm sure.
Right. Three team principals, three teams left. Williams, Aston Martin, and Haas.
Yep,
Who's going to get what? Spin the wheel.
spin it. It's looking like Ben. So who is Ben Wawawa managing?
And wow. We'll get his third choice, which is Williams. So he's quite lucky there because if he got rid of that, he was looking at one of the ones down the end of his grid. But luckily enough, he does get what he wants. I'm going to say it's very, very unlucky for Quiet Boy because he now has his first choice removed there.
Mm.
And he's now relying on his seventh choice to be picked now. And the same with Ricky. It's going to be his fifth choice if he gets the wheel next. So we'll see out of the last two
Yeah,
who's going to be where.
between Quiet Boy and Ricky. Let's see. It's gonna be Ricky. Quiet Boy's last.
Yeah, well, luckily enough, actually, I only realised this now. Ricky's first choice was actually Quiet Boy's last choice. So Ricky will be the team principal for Aston Martin this season, which leaves Quiet Boy the team principal of Haas as the final one.
Yep.
So that is, I will run through finally our lineup, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
I don't know if you want to take note of this. I can send it to you on afterwards anyway. But
Yeah.
from the top of the constructor standings to the bottom, Jack MUFC will take charge of McLaren. Jake will take charge of Ferrari, which then has Tim in charge of Mercedes and Leo in charge of Red Bull. Ricky will be the Aston Martin team principal. Ben Wawawa will be the Williams team principal, which then leaves Quiet Boy as the Haas team principal, ST as the Racing Bulls team principal, Anthony as the Alpine team principal, and Charlie as the Kick Sauber team principal. So
Lovely stuff. So
that
obviously,
is
Gaff,
going to
are
be
you
the
happy
grid.
with that lineup of team principals?
Yeah, I think a few will be disappointed. I'm sure Quiet Boy isn't going to be too happy at all at Haas, but I'm sure, to be honest, I think Leo's going to be quite disappointed. I know he's probably going to be happy enough with Red Bull, but if he always just, I always just assume Leo is kick sour. He's kick sour in my mind all the time. So him not being kick sour will be a bit strange, but other than that, It's nice to see Jake getting Ferrari, um, Jack NUFC in McLaren as well. Some of the guys that I know a little bit more personally, I'm quite happy to see that they've got the teams that they've wanted.
Yeah. And obviously looking at Leo then in Red Bull, I think he could be a bit of a Christian Horner this season. I can't lie.
We'll see. Obviously, he definitely has the racing experience. I know as a fellow, he's kind of helping us out on the admin team in Formula Aero, and he's constantly helping myself and Shane out with setups, and those setups have been absolutely superb. So I'm hoping that he could be my team principal and he can help me out with some even more setups for the first few races of the season and as the season goes on. But other than that, I think it's time to get started on the
On the
drivers.
drivers, it is indeed.
So I'm
Right.
going to just run through this quickly, just so everyone knows what the plan is. So every driver has given, or every team principal has selected a driver from our 22 and have ranked them from 1 to 22 and what they would like. Now, of course, one of our team principals hasn't submitted anything, which means that we aren't going to have all 20 drivers get a seat today. Only 18 will be confirmed a seat. How it's going to work? Sham has 9 drivers on a wheel. We're going to spin the wheel. Now, Sham, you're actually going to have to kind of keep note of this of every single time it lands on someone. Uh, Say Tim gets the first again,
Mhm.
he gets his first driver, but then his last driver is going to be the 18th choice,
Okay.
and then that's going to go on. So we're going to find out Tim's driver straight away, his first choice, but we're not going to find out his next driver until the very end of the grid after we go through everyone.
Okay.
Um,
Understandable.
so it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's how it's going to work. So I don't know if you have a notepad or any sort of notes to just to make sure we know who went where, who's first, who's second. And without further ado, we can get going with the driver lineup for season 11.
Okay, let's get going. So we're going to spin the wheel now for the drivers. Oh, I think it's Ricky.
So Ricky is going to get his first choice. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's the first one.
Right. Well, that is perfect for him because he's going to get the first name on the grid as well. So Fran will get a seat in the end. Uh, I think a lot of actually the people that have looked because he didn't submit any time trials, a lot of the people who aren't aware of Fran have put him down as 22 and 21. So he's lucky enough that Ricky has picked him as number one. So Fran will be a Aston Martin driver in season 11.
Lovely stuff. So will I remove Ricky from the reel? From the wheel, sorry.
You can remove Ricky from the wheel, yes.
Okay, perfect. We'll be doing that.
And
So,
just note that down that he was the first driver to go.
yeah. I'll make a note of it actually here now on my phone.
Actually, I can do it here because I can just move him to the top of the. Wait, no, I can't because this thing is sound my Google Sheets. Yeah, you're gonna have to take note of that, please.
Yeah, I have it here. Right, you ready?
Perfect. Right, on to the next.
Yep, let's go. ST.
Right, so ST will also get his first driver. He wanted Richie, 18, as his first driver, and that is who he will get. So Richie will be a Racing Bull driver, just like he is in Formula Aero.
So no
He's going to be
change
a
there for
Racing
him.
Bull driver in, uh, sorry, mine's gone blank. He'll be a Racing Bull driver in URC season 11. On to number 3.
It's Leo.
Right, and Leo also will get his number 1 driver. And I'm surprised that this driver has so many number 1 and number 2 choices, mainly because he's just such a fan favourite in Formula Aero. But I think you'll know he's not much of a fan favourite in URC. Can you have a guess who he is?
Uh, Hyper?
No.
Bluefoot?
Think of a driver who probably shouldn't be racing in URC with the antics that has gone on in the past in a certain Saudi Arabia.
Shano.
So Shano will be the Red Bull number one driver for this year. Leo has him down as his number one pick, as well as Quiet Boy, and ST had him as his second pick. So yeah, he was got quite the selection of team principals looking for his name, but Leo's going to get that signature uh, on a Red Bull contract. So Shano will be racing for Red Bull.
All right, let's go to the next one. And it's Charlie.
Right, so Charlie also has his number one pick available, and that's going to be his teammate in Formula Aero. That is Sir Nathan Yu, is going to be the uh, what is Charlie again? Williams? Yeah, he's going to be the Williams driver in URC. Now that is a very, very good pick because other than the likes of Hyper and Bluefoot, maybe um, Nathan is a very, very quick driver, especially in this grid. So he'll be looking for a possible championship battle this season
Mm.
if things go his way. So yeah, Nathan is a Williams driver.
Right, on to the next one.
Yeah, number five.
Tim.
Right, so Tim has his first choice available as well, and it's the one I thought a lot of people would have as their first choice, but it's only come about now. Hyper 295 F1 is going to be a Mercedes driver in URC. So Tim will be very happy that his number one has stayed available for that long. That's a very, very good driver to have on board, especially after his performance in Qatar on Wednesday night, where he was unbelievably like outpacing where he really should be. And I'm sure he's going to be a real force to be reckoned with in URC.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's move on to the next one. I think that's Jake.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jake has his first choice selected. That was Hyper as well. So he's just one wheel or one spin a bit too short there. He will get his second choice though, and that's a new driver. So you're taking a bit of a gamble there. No real knowledge of this driver. It's Yari F1, who has some quite impressive times on the timesheet. Definitely borderline, kind of where we were going to reject the times is where Yari is. Very similar to Hyper. So if he really is living up to the pace that he says he can set, he's also going to be a very, very quick driver this season. So it's a risk, but it could be a good risk from Jake come the end of the season. We'll have to wait and see.
I hope the Ferrari pressure and the Ferrari history won't get to him too much because there has been a lot of successful drivers in Ferrari, but there's also been a lot
Yeah,
of dismal drivers in Ferrari's
yeah.
history in
Fran,
URC. So yeah, Fran is one of them.
Ryan Kern.
Ryan Curran, Gabri,
Yeah, so even out of them. Oh, Gabby, don't even get me started on him.
Sergio.
Right. He was brilliant. He was brilliant for a few races, and then they found out that he wasn't Spanish. He
He
was
was an
just
imposter.
he was Irish. Yeah, but no, he
Right,
wasn't a bad
let's
driver, that fella.
spin that wheel.
Right, we'll get going again. He's actually a constructors champion, so I wouldn't say he's too much of a failure, right?
It's Ruben or
Ruben,
Quiet Boy.
yeah, Quiet Boy. So Quiet Boy, his first choice in Shano has been selected, so he will get his second choice, which is still available. Phase Monkey, so one of the championship
Oh, great
protagonists
signing.
in Tier 2, really, really good. I
Yeah,
have to say, and Shano said it as well the other day, Phase Monkey has really turned a corner in his racing because he first came into the grid. I'm not going to say he was a bad driver. He wasn't a driver who I was like, oh no, here's Phase Monkey. But he wasn't really one of the ones where you're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen here. But this season in FA2 and even reserving in Formula Aero, he has been superb. and he's really on a championship battle, and he could be in URC as well if he takes that form into this season. So we'll see what he has to offer. But he is going to be a Haas driver in URC season 11.
Yeah, definitely, and I'd say he's hopefully looking forward to that. We have three team principals left for their well, what they probably hope for their first choice, but it's looking highly unlikely.
I think we've only
Um,
one, do we?
I hope Bluefoot's not sitting there pretty nervous. I know he hasn't been selected yet, but he's probably panicking
Yeah,
that
I
he
think we
hasn't
only
gotten
have
a
one
seat.
left. I'm pretty sure now.
We have three.
Is Anthony in that wheel?
We've got Ben, Jack, and Leopold.
Leo already got his driver and Shane.
Oh, did he? Okay, I can remove him there.
Yep. So it's Jack and Ben. So
Jack
this
and
is
Ben, yeah.
the last of the two. This is the last time you have to spin the wheel. Obviously, this driver gets either his whatever pick is next, and then the next driver then gets two picks in a row. So that's quite an underrated one. If you still get your first pick and then you also get your pick straight after that, the ninth one could be a very, very important one to get two very consistent drivers. We'll have to wait and see. So we'll see what's up next in terms of the wheel.
So just to confirm,
Who's going to get the next one?
FaZe Monkey's at Red Bull, right?
No, Shane is at Red Bull. FaZe Monkey is at Haas. I have it all recorded here anyway,
Oh, okay, perfect.
so I can send you all after. I just need to know who is where in the wheels. I'm not too sure who went first and all that in the wheel.
All right, let's go for between either Ben or Jack. Let's spin the wheel. And I think it's Ben. It's leaning towards more towards him. Yeah, it's Ben.
Right. So Ben also had his first choice removed. That was Hyper, who was removed quite earlier on. But luckily enough, he also gets his second choice, which is Metal Metal. So it's a strange one that he's gone for Metal Metal. Of course, he does have quite competitive times, and I'm not too sure he has been tuning into Formula Aero, but especially last year, he had some very serious pace, especially when he was in the championship battle at the start of the year. He was really almost kind of locked in, very like kind of trying to say how to explain it, but he was very kind of confident in himself at that time, winning races, scoring podiums, and scoring very high points. Of course, faded away towards the end of the season, but if he could score a few good points at the start of this season, I think he will also be a quite tough force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, definitely. Um, it's looking like an interesting grid so far, and definitely a competitive one. Obviously Jack is probably waiting for his driver. So who does he get?
Well, if Jack has been tuning in and he's listening to who has been picked, he is going to be absolutely delighted because he's going to get his first and second pick as
Wow,
his two drivers, and that's going to be Pickle Alex and Johnsy Boy, two Formula Aero Tier One drivers haven't been selected yet, and are going to be racing for McLaren next year. Very very strong grid
that's a good
for
lineup.
Jack NUFC, and it's going to be very very hard to compete with them.
Right,
So after
so
that, it's whoever is after Jack. Who was it? Ben? I think.
that's
Yeah.
no, it's Ben's drivers is Metal Metal,
Yeah,
isn't
so
it?
it's back to Ben then I think because he got two drivers because he was the ninth.
Yeah, so back to who's Ben's second driver?
Right. So Ben had his first choice picked. He has his second choice. He's also going to get his third choice. And this driver, all I have for him is compliments. Fabulous driver, 10 race wins, has a great history in this league, three podiums, sorry, and a famous pole position in Abu Dhabi when no one expected it as well.
Oh my
And
God.
that is myself, and Metal Metal will be teammates for Ben racing for, I'm trying to think, Williams this season. So
Wow.
that
Gaffo,
is the
just
Williams
asking even
driver
you, how
lineup.
do you feel about being in the Williams? You've never raced in the Williams
Uh,
before in
No,
URC.
I've never raced in the Williams, but I'm quite happy with my teammate, to be honest. I think we have a really, really strong teammate, and I think we can really, both of us can really compete this season. So I'm looking forward to it. Bring Williams back to the top.
Mm,
I think FaZe, I thought, was a world champion in Williams, wasn't
He was. He won it in
he? He
season one.
won it.
His
That's it.
records of 3 wins in a row in a single season still stands to this day. It's never been
Right.
broken.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think I can do that now, but well, I might have a chance to maybe bring a few wins back this season. We'll see. Uh, Try and stay confident anyway. All right. Who was before Ben? Ben has all his two drivers picked. I can't remember now. I've lost track completely. Who was after him?
So who got FaZe Monkey? That was
Oh, that was Quiet Boy.
so
So
that's
that's
yeah,
obviously the next person.
yeah.
Right. Quiet Boy. He's gonna get his third pick as well. So everyone has quite different opinions with who they want to pick as their drivers. Obviously, Shano was picked. He got FaZe Monkey, and he's also going to get his teammate in Formula Aero, a driver who's also raced in URC before,
Mhm.
um, for a small period of time. Or sorry, it would have been PSR at the time.
Yeah.
Jitter Archie is going to be the Quiet Boys' second driver. So FaZe Monkey and Jitter Archie, the two Haas drivers for season 11.
And then after that we go to Jake who got Yari.
Jake, who got Yari. So I think he has a good few picked. First, second, third, fourth. He will get his fifth driver. And do you have any idea, any predictions who you think that might be, and why I'm asking you the prediction? Who do you think it is?
I think it's Bluefoot.
It is Bluefoot. Bluefoot is
Bluefoot at
a
Ferrari.
Ferrari
Sees.
driver. So Bluefoot and Yari could be two very, very good drivers this year if Yari lives up to the expectation. So
Oh, let Bluefoot
that is
cook.
the Ferrari driver. The Ferrari driver lineup for this season.
Alright, who got Hyper?
Hyper. Hyper was selected by Tim. So we go next with Tim.
Yep.
So Tim is also going to get a pick that's quite high up for himself. He had his second pick was Yari.
Mhm.
He's obviously been selected. It's going to be Yari's. No, sorry, not Yari's friend. It's going to be another driver who only joined the server recently. I still haven't seen him race. I think he raced on Monday night actually. I don't know how necessarily good he was, but he has decent enough time trials. XD Tyler is going to be the fellow Mercedes driver alongside Hyper. So very, very interesting side there. Hyper obviously will be very quick, as you can imagine.
Mhm.
It'll be interesting to see how Tyler comes out.
And then next up we have whoever got Sir Nathan Yu.
Right, Nathan. Nathan was selected by his Formula Aero teammate Charlie, and
Mhm.
Charlie has an awful lot of his drivers already selected. So we're getting down to the drivers who didn't necessarily really want these guys on their team. This is his eighth choice. Still a driver who we don't know much about. We'll see how he fares out. It will be Vroom Vroom,
Oh wow.
Charlie's driver. So
Yeah,
Charlie,
there's very little known about Vroom Vroom.
yeah, Charlie got the kicks over. Sure, wasn't it?
He did, yeah.
He
I think
did,
so, he
yeah.
did, yeah.
So kick Sauber drivers will be Nathan and Vroom Vroom. So who's after that?
Shano then, whoever got Shano.
So Shana was selected by Leo. So Leo's next choice is going to be another driver who's actually quite high up his list, sixth on his list, and it's going to be Billy Wiz.
Billy Whiz,
Billy Wizard
wow.
will pick up another driver now. He's just been demoted from Formula Aero to Formula Aero 2, but still had a very good season last year in Formula Aero. Unfortunately, as the grid kind of changed this year, he has struggled, but he picked up his first points of the season in Qatar before being relegated. So he's a driver that will be there no matter what. And he's going to be pairing up alongside Shano for Leo in the Red Bull.
Very good lineup. Pretty interesting. Right, we have Richie then, whoever got Richie.
So it was ST who got Richie. So I think he was the second pick anyway. So again, this is you're getting right down into the bottom of their lineup now. So Richie or ST will get his 14th choice here.
Ooh,
So that's very fair down, and that's why I think the likes of Jack and Ben very happy to get the drivers high up their list.
Yeah,
ST will get Pumba as his driver. That's his second choice. So it will be Richie and Pumba, the two Racing Bull drivers.
and last but not least, because Anthony just never got his drivers into us, we have the Aston Martin second driver.
Yeah, so we're back with Ricky. Who will Fran be paired alongside? So again, it's going to leave a lot of drivers without a seat, but Ricky will to get his seventh choice.
Hmm.
That is Yari's friend, W Tech 7 Vinny. So he will be the final Aston Martin driver and the final driver confirmed with a seat. Of course, two more will get a full time seat, but it's going to be up for grabs between Solar, Cato, Lucas Spurs, and Luca 96, which
And
is I'm just gonna quickly put out before you break in there.
yeah, sorry.
It's actually very unlucky for a lot of drivers because the likes of Cato, he was their a seventh pick for one of the drivers. Lucas Spurs was sixth pick for one of the drivers. Actually, if Bluefoot was already selected, he Lucas Spurs would be a Ferrari driver
Yeah,
this season. So he was quite unlucky with that. And the same with Luca 96. He actually had six people who wanted him as their sixth choice. So very unlucky. But it shows that these drivers, none of them have been selected. All of them 22, 21, 20. They're still thereabouts, and there's definitely a role for them to play this season. And
yeah.
two of them, of course, will get a seat with Alpine. It's just up to them to try and prove themselves to Anthony that they want to be in that seat.
And just looking in the chat there, we were seeing Vinny in the comments. He was kind of confident that he wasn't going to get selected, and he gets the last seat at Aston Martin. So
Yeah, yeah,
he's very happy. But obviously, it is unfortunate that um, the likes of Solar, Kloppo, and Lucas Spurs aren't able to
yeah. Well,
know.
another thing I'm just going to quickly bump in there and say
Hmm.
is that they're very unlucky. The fact that it's their what was I going to say there? Sorry, they're very unlucky that those drivers that it's quite a confidence sinker for them because
Yeah,
even if they do get the full time seat, they're like, oh, it was last pick. Like, am I really wanted? Like, that's the questions that they may be asking themselves. I know I would be if I was picked that last, which
yeah,
is
for sure.
so it's gonna be interesting to see. Like, I still had to wait all the way till the second round of picks until I did get selected. So here it's gonna be interesting to see how they're going to react to that. It's going to be interesting to see who are the two that do pick it. It's
Mm.
unfortunate that Anthony wasn't able to select his driver lineup, but he still has four drivers who don't seem too bad to select from. So see how we get on. I think you can say whatever. That's all I have to say on the draft.
Yeah,
And looking forward to next week.
yeah, the draft obviously went very well. We got there in the end with it. Technical difficulties. I don't know what went on with my Discord. I'll probably
Uh,
delete it and reinstall it to be honest.
other than that, very very good. Went very smoothly. The process that
Yeah, absolutely. We managed to get a workaround. And obviously then just with the likes of the team principal championship. Now obviously there's the drivers championship, but this is how the team principals work. So I said this to you, Gaffo. I think I might
yeah
have filled you
yeah
in on
you can
it.
explain this now.
The team principal who leads their constructors to glory is essentially guaranteed to keep their role as a team principal. Then the TPs that finish below from like second to fifth are pretty much safe in their job, and then sixth to the likes of, well, yeah, fifth to seventh actually really is more safe, and then eighth to tenth are at risk. If the team principal finishes 10th, if their team finishes 10th, it basically means the TP, team principal, finishes 10th, and that means he hasn't done a good job, which is immediate sacking. So, you want, as a team principal, you want to be at least above sixth in the constructors, or maybe even above fifth to be safe. Because if you go into the likes of eighth or to 10th, or just borderline seventh, um,
Yeah, well,
you're in trouble.
eight to tenth, especially, I think
Yeah,
will be not necessarily looking for replacements. Tenth, we definitely will,
yeah,
but eighth and ninth, there's going to be like we are hoping that by the end of this season, we will have drivers knocking on the door or people knocking on the door looking to try and be team principals if this season goes very well.
yeah,
Which means that if there's enough demand, it means more drivers, more team principals are going to lose their job. That's simply how it works. It's supply and demand. So to be safe, you have to at least definitely be in the top six. And I think the top three to top four would consider a successful season. And of course, to win it would just be would just be brilliant. I think we'd love to have an award or some sort of reward for the winning team principal, but I think for the moment we're just going to focus on the drivers because
yeah. We can discuss
until
that
things
in
get
another
going.
later time for definite. But
Yeah,
Gaffo, it's
and
time for some predictions.
yeah,
I want
yeah.
to hear
I
your
just wanted to
drivers'
quickly say
champion.
about right. Well, I'll get into that first, and what I want to who I think may be a driver's champion. I'm going to give it to Hyper. I think Hyper looks very locked in at the moment. Of course, he's trying to be competitive with Leo in Formula Aero, and I do think he will be very, very strong this season. So I think he may have a tough enough battle with the likes of Nathan and potentially Bluefoot if he really puts his mind to it. So um, that's probably my prediction for the drivers. I think Hyper will be the champion.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna, for what I've seen in terms of other races and everything. I think Phase Monkey's gonna be up there. I think Hyper would be up there after what we saw from him in FA yesterday. So I think we have a title race between him and Phase Monkey. Um, I guess for the rest of the grid, it's open season. It's just a matter of who will surprise who. Um, I think I'm going to go with a constructor's prediction though, and I'm going to go with, from the lineups that I can see here, I'm going to go with Ferrari.
Right, Bluefoot and Yari. That's a very strong team. Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah,
one to be reckoned with. That's the one thing I will say. I don't think Hyper will win the constructors. I don't think his teammate is going to bring in the points that are going to be needed for the constructors this year. And I forgot to mention them because I do think actually one of these drivers will be involved in the drivers' champion. I think Pickle Alex could be well among the mix for the drivers, and that's why I'm going for McLaren as my constructors' champion. Himself
yeah,
and John's boy, very very strong team, and I do think they are going to be a force to be reckoned with, as I've said many times today. I think that's a very strong lineup.
yeah. McLaren would have been my second choice there, to be honest. It just, again, based on the lineup, but yeah, looking forward to seeing how this season plays out. We got the drivers sorted, the team principals sorted, and now it's all set to the main stage on Silverstone next Thursday.
That's the
This is
racing,
where
yeah.
we'll see the drivers meeting their teammates for the first time. I saw Kloppo's comment, and it's probably the most disheartening one I've ever seen. Did he get picked? And I don't know. I don't want. I'll give him a message. I'll have a word with him.
The simple answer is he hasn't been picked yet. All right, he hasn't been guaranteed a seat with the top 18. He hasn't been selected, but there is still two seats up for grabs.
Yeah,
So that is obviously the what to be said.
there is indeed, and a lot to be settled on the racing track. But folks, we're gonna leave it there for tonight. If you did miss out on the stream, you can watch this back on YouTube. It's there, and it will stay there for reference because we will definitely need to come back to it just in case if any drivers choose to drop out during the season or if drivers get confused. This video is here, so we will know who's with who, who's managing who, and yeah. But I once from just from me personally, I do want to apologise for the delay. Discord was causing me some serious problems tonight, and yeah, it definitely delayed everything. But next Thursday we will be good to go for an 8 o'clock start for short qualifying, um, with the race then kicking off after that. So just over a week, well, a week to go until lights out in Silverstone, and by this time next week we'll have the results of
By
Silverstone.
this
We'll
time
find
next week,
out.
I will be top of the or driver standings after winning in Silverstone.
Gaffo's confident. I
That's the
like to
safe
see
way to
it.
say
I
it.
like to
Yeah,
see
that's the
it.
safe way to say it. Yeah.
Well, that's what
Ah,
Williams
we'll see
need.
what happens.
Williams need that
Yeah, we'll see.
confidence.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's all
All
to say.
right, we will let you go, guys. Have a good one. Good night, and God bless. Gaffo, I'll let you go as well, and
Yeah,
I'll just
we'll
mute
see you
our
later, Sam.
mics there and everything.